Partnered by Times Influence.
A convention that gathered some of the best minds in the country. The 46th edition of the National Convention of Company Secretaries, organized by the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, ICSI, was recently held in Bhubaneswar. The theme of the three-day convention this year was a journey of 50 glorious years, connecting from grassroots to global. The main attraction of the convention was the presence of the Chief Minister of Odisha, Naveen Patnaik, who graced the occasion as the chief guest, along with the guest of honour, Arun Mishra, Chairman of Tata SEZ.
On behalf of the entire team of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, I take this wonderful opportunity to welcome all to this Golden Jubilee year, 46th National Convention and 6th International Conference in the temple city of Bhubaneswar. The past 1 year has been special one, and well, for a Golden Jubilee year, one of the statutes such as ours, the word special would be understatement. It is indeed the result of untiring efforts of our founding fathers, their vision, their diligence, and assiduousness that the entire glorious 50 years of stupendous journey of the Institute, which I would like to call the Glow 50, be attributed to. To all of you, I would like to say that desire is the starting point of all achievements, not a hope, not a wish, but a keen, persuading desire which transcends everything. Desire and dream to achieve. Close your eyes, raise your face to the sky, stretch your hands straight sideways, and take a deep breath. Yes, you believe. You can fly, you can fly. Thank you very much and enjoy the Golden Jubilee National Convention. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be here today to attend the National Convention of Company Secretaries and the International Conference 2018. I congratulate all of you for completing 50 years of glorious service to the nation as the premier professional body. Company secretaries are the pivots of the companies. They keep the companies within the legal framework set up for companies. They play multidisciplinary roles and work as the advisors, promoters, and ambassadors of the companies they work for and contribute to their growth. For the last 50 years, we've been playing a crucial role in providing essential support to industrial organizations. In the context of massive industrialization in the country, the company secretaries do certainly have a bright future along with the growth of industries and economy of the country. As you know, Odisha is fast emerging as a manufacturing hub of Eastern India. With a number of progressive policies and plans put in place, Odisha has provided better industrial climate for industrial growth and helped industries to be the part of the development story of Odisha. In the Make in Odisha conclave held in 2016, we have received investment intents of more than 2 lakh crores across 10 diversified sectors. That is a potential to create opportunities of 1.4 lakh jobs. So far, over 60% of the total investment proposals are at various stages of implementation. You'll be glad to know Japan will be our country partner, and the State Bank of India will be the banking partner for the next Make in Odisha conference in Bhubaneswar. Our concentrated efforts for industrial and economic growth has been paying rich dividends with many new industrial establishments coming up in Odisha. All our efforts are creating better job opportunities for our youth. I believe the company secretaries will also have a fair share of it. I thank all of you for this function and wish all of you a better future and a better role in the growth of our nation. Thank you.
It's indeed a great pleasure for me to be amongst the company secretaries in this Golden Jubilee year. In the past, company secretaries were known to be secretaries to the board, but in recent times, their role has increased tremendously. How do you do that? And that's an art. And that's where the company secretary's role became much more clearer to me. And I'm very happy to see 1,200 to 1,300 company secretaries assembling and discussing what more they can do. And last 2-3 years specifically, I'm seeing the amount of role the company secretaries are playing in, because one thing I understand nowadays is the company lifespans have reduced. It's no longer that once a company is formed, it will go on for 100 years. Companies will be born and perish in 10 years to 15 years of time. The business models are changing very fast. And so the international laws, because of the global business or WTO agreements that all of us are signatory to, the global laws which were not applicable to us are slowly becoming more and more applicable to us. And under this entire condition, for company secretaries to keep the board going and ensure that they are first be aware of the changes and then observe the changes and also keep pace with the very fast way of working of the companies itself. Now the company secretaries are very smart, they are typing it out quite fast on the iPads, and there are board apps and putting data onto the board apps, and all technology savvy they have become. So it is good for the chairman that he hardly has to do anything, but it's also has a lot of trust and faith in the company secretary that hopefully he is not leading me down the garden path and suddenly someday I get arrested. Let me wish you all the best for the next 2 days of deliberations, and thank you for inviting me here.
The 3-day convention saw a stellar lineup of speakers from various organizations. The convention started with the curtain raiser themed Ensuring Governance and Transparency under the Companies Act.
Good corporate governance, you know it better than I do, is built on the overarching principles of honesty, transparency, accountability, fairness, and social responsibility.
The second day of the convention started with a special address by Dharmendra Pradhan, Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas and Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, who enlightened the audience with challenges and the way forward with skill development in India.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me first congratulate on this Golden Jubilee celebration the Institute of Company Secretaries. Being the skill minister when my initial days, what is the idea of a skilled person? He must have holding a screwdriver, he must have a holding weapon, he must have a beautician. Okay, these all are skill. But in your office, giving you, assist you on the insolvency account is also a professional. It's a low-end professional. It needs expertise, it needs practice. I'm happy, I'm fortunate, I'm thrilled you all are here. But I must get some benefit of your august presence in my state. I am also professional. My expectation, please cooperate with us, please lead us, please take care of our interests. Let Odia society of eastern part of country become more entrepreneur. Lot of resources are there, lot of working people are there, lot of knowledgeable people are there, lot of domestic after GST. The entire tilt is moving towards east. With all such scenario, your role as a professional, your guidance is needed, your leadership is needed. Unless until you come out in a big way, there cannot be a balanced development. With this expectation, I am thankful to all of you for inviting me. Thank you, friends.
ICSI has been working relentlessly to sharpen the talent pool in the CS community. The technical session was an apt opportunity to leverage the expertise of the panelists who deliberated on the topic of connecting from grassroots to global 360-degree transformation of CS professionals.
World Bank report, there is a mention that Indian laws today are next best or benchmarked to the best in the industry.
Understanding the contribution of a company secretary in the overall growth of the country was next on agenda in the conclave. Key stakeholders from the public as well as private sectors exchanged on the topic of economic growth and nation building. Contribution of CS in the new growth story.
He is the pivotal person in the functioning of the board, and if we are very serious about improving corporate governance, we really need to focus on company secretaries.
Focusing on the know-how about the law, the next session essentially talked about CS in the new age legislative paradigm.
The role of company secretaries in the companies and in the economic growth itself has changed. And as a backbone of the company, what you say becomes the guiding line for the board of directors to function.
As this edition was also the 6th edition of their international conference, it was imperative to discuss the global perspective with regards to governance, risk management and compliances.
You will have a great challenge in thinking through as to how you will structure your disclosure policies, because once you disclose, you cannot go back. So that's where I find company secretaries, if they are prepared, they will enjoy, otherwise you will find yourself stuck.
The company secretary is in a pivotal position to be the conduit to that. And particularly as many of the issues that these investors want to know about are governance issues, it's usually the company secretary they'll turn to enlighten them on the practices. So there's an opportunity here for company secretaries to own this space, but as I said, if they're not careful, the investor relations function will happily take it off of you.
First of all, when we're talking about corporate responsibility, I think that we should agree on terms and definitions. I think that this means, first of all, doing the right thing. So it means that the company playing part in responsible business issues that are central to the business, from the quality of services to engagement of the company with communities and its environmental footprint.
The corporate governance is the exercise of ethical and effective leadership by the governing body towards the achievement of the following governance outcomes: ethical culture, good performance, effective control, and legitimacy. And this definition comes from King 4, published by the Institute of Directors of South Africa under the chairmanship of Professor Marvin King. But what I like about this definition is its focus on ethical and effective leadership and outcomes of governance.
Important of an organization is the value creation. So the purpose of investment actually is to derive value, and the shareholders and stakeholders, their interest is in the return, right? So the value is an organization must create values for its owner or shareholders, and that value must be created not just for shareholders, but also for stakeholders.
After much discussion and deliberation on the first 2 days, the third day saw two of the most important sessions which talked about the role of the CS as corporate saviors dealing with subjects such as insolvency and valuations. Finally, it was time for the most awaited session at the convention, where the Governor of Odisha, Professor Ganeshi Lal, along with Dr. Achyutananda Samanta, Member of Parliament Rajya Sabha, took the centre stage and expressed their views.
It's my great pleasure to appreciate a journey of 50 glorious years connecting from the grassroots to global, which would deliberate on journey of their dedication and commitment in upholding and advancing the principles of good governance for strengthening growth of India at domestic as well as global spheres. All the records have been broken which they don't have ever aspired that this type of convention will be so successful. Because now everything is successful in Odisha or Bhubaneswar. In the last 10 to 12 years, generally Odisha or particularly Bhubaneswar has become the most happening city from the non-happening city. It is very calm and quiet, traffic free, wide road, pollution free, riot free, and very sociable and people from the Odisha. That's why Odisha is now drawing the attention of many people, and particularly Bhubaneswar has also become the education hub in the eastern part of India. And in the last 7 to 8 years, be it IIT, Niger, IJR, IIM, AIMS, Central University, all national institutes have been established near and around Bhubaneswar or in Odisha. So thank you very much, all the office bearers and also all of you.
Now I would like to request our chief guest, His Excellency Professor Ganeshi Lalji, Honorable Governor of Odisha, to address the August gathering. Please, sir.
Dignitaries sitting on the dais, and my dear friends. Being the first citizen of this state, I am fortunate enough to welcome you this wonderland. It is the 8th wonder of the world. Spiritual, natural, cultural. In the last 3 days, you perhaps most probably deliberated upon the dignity of the individual, the dignity of the society, the dignity of the nation. Simultaneously must have thought upon giving justice socially, politically, economically. At the same time must have pondered over the economic, financial health of the nation as well. The great cosmologist Carl Sagan collects 30 scientists from all over the world and just appealing to the spiritual leaders to save this planet and also appealing to the people at large that the 7 sins, in the words of Mahatma Gandhi, property without work, politics without principle, pleasure without conscience, ethics without, commerce without ethics, knowledge without character, worship without sacrifice, science without humanity. All these things are just hovering over our heads. What is the reason, you see? J. Krishnamurti says, all outward forms of change brought about by wars, revolutions, laws, and ideologies have failed to change the basic instinct in a man. And he questions, and each of us questions, can this world, based on competition, brutality, and fear, can ever come to an end? And the answer is, yes, it is possible if each one of us, living in any part of the land, adhering to any sort of culture, considers himself responsible for this state of affairs. The basic thing is the man. The root is the companion. Company is also formed of the certain companions. And who is a companion? Companion is the skylight. And that light should come to touch the wicked, the miserables, and the poorest of the poor. That light should see that all souls are potentially divine. That light should see that we are interdependent, interrelated, interwoven. This earth is undivided, this universe is inseparable. Humanity in its holistic aspiration is one and indivisible. In the valedictory day function today, I would appeal to all you friends, let us rise to the occasion.
let us listen to the call of the times, and if possible, save planet by another Mahabharata. Thank you very much. Dhanyavad.
The 46th Golden Jubilee National Convention of Company Secretaries concluded with all professionals taking back a host of learnings and some valuable insights that can be replicated in their professional life.
Partnered by Times Influence.